L is for the likes and loves you send. I is for this isolation to end. V is very, very wrapped up in my glass of sherry. And E is everything I meant to say and lost my way, 'cause live is all that I can give to you. Facebook Live, where we can share a song or two. You can help me bear it. Watch this show and please do share it. Live was made for me and you. Madama Butterfly, starring Zoya Gramagin as Cho-Cho-san, Samuel Hall as B.F. Pinkerton, Sahoko Timpone as Suzuki, and Daniel Schofield as Sharpless. L is for the love they consummate. I is I will wait and wait and wait. V is very scary. In Act 3 there's Harry Carey. And E is even more than dooby-dobby-dooby-dobby Cho-Cho-san. And opera's my favorite form of art, and these singers sing it from the heart. In art, a heart can break, but please don't take my art away. Tonight, it's live with you and me. Live was made for you and me. And don't forget Andrew Potter as the Bones. Madama Butterfly. L. Well, good evening. Yes, L. I love L. L is maybe my favorite letter. L is definitely my favorite consonant. If you're a singer that has worked at SPO in recent years, you know exactly what I mean about my love affair with the letter L. Good evening, all you opera cats and gattini dolci. Welcome to Facebook Live with St. Petersburg Opera. I am Mark Sforzini, the artistic director. As you can see, I take myself very seriously. We just aired the first act of our recent production of Madama Butterfly at 6 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow at 6 p.m., Acts 2 and Acts 3 will be made available. These videos will be available for the entire week. Madama Butterfly by Puccini played for 5 full houses at the Palladium Theater in June of 2019. And as a personal aside, we closed Butterfly on June 30th, and I turned 50, 50, and I'm loving it, 50, I'm loving 50. I turned 50 on July 1st and went on vacation to San Francisco for a week. That seems like a different lifetime now, a different world. People check in with me. People are checking in with me these last few weeks to say, how am I doing sheltering in? And I say, I have my up days and I have my down days. And the down days can be quite down. But one thing is constant, and that is a classic. Mozart Sonata K545. Yes, I played that last week. It was the same last week. Mozart Sonata was the same 232 years ago when he wrote it. That is a classic. And in art and music, we have classics, works that endure not just weeks, not just decades, but centuries. And that is because they are so damn good. They feed the soul, and they are constant in their nourishment. So tonight I am here with my glass of sherry, fighting to keep the art in your hearts. And it's all about the Puccini classic Madama Butterfly tonight. I want to start off by thanking our sponsors for the 2019 butterfly production, because without our sponsors, these things wouldn't happen. Sponsors Michelle Kidwell Gilbert and Dr. Gordon Joel Gilbert. I hope you're watching, Michelle and Gordon. I also want to thank Mirella Cimato in honor of Norman Smith was a sponsor. Ciao Mirella, sarai il mio del... I screwed that up. You're going to get on my case. Mirella was my first person to help me with Italian. Ciao Mirella, sarai il mio amico dell'opera. Yes. And Marilyn J. Ward. I want to thank Marilyn and the Tampa Bay Times. So thank you to all of our sponsors. You got to meet some of the cast in the introduction. I want to introduce the other cast members for those of you who tuned in earlier tonight. We have Stephen Steffens as Goro. Goro is the marriage broker. I like to joke that Goro is like the Gladys Kravitz of the opera world. If you've seen the show Bewitched and the nosy neighbor Gladys Kravitz, Goro is like the busybody that's always eavesdropping on every conversation and wants to know everything that's going on. And then also we have Mark Tempesta as Yamadori. Now, Yamadori, you didn't see Yamadori tonight. Yamadori first appears in the second act. Chocho-san could have married Yamadori. All her friends said Pinkerton is not coming back. And Yamadori had everything. I mean, he had wealth. He was handsome. She could have had all of that, but she was determined to hold out for Pinkerton because she believed that B.F. Pinkerton would be coming back. So no wedding to Yamadori. And we meet in Act 3 the character of Kate Pinkerton. Kate Pinkerton, played by Perry Sussman. Kate Pinkerton obviously married B.F. Pinkerton and comes back to Nagasaki in Act 3. I don't want to give too much away and spoil too much, but you can catch Perry in tomorrow night's conclusion, Act 2 and 3. So let's tune in here. Let's see who's all watching here on the thread. Hi, Deeper Conti. Hi, Carl. Barbara, great to see you, Barbara. Jim's watching again. Zoya, oh, it's, I've been so moved by how many of the cast have been tuning in for these broadcasts. This is the third week we've done this. Started with Don Giovanni 2 weeks ago, then Rigoletto last week, and Madama Butterfly this week. And it's just been great to connect with so many of the cast members and to know that they are watching. I was watching the Act 1 stream tonight at 6 p.m., and it just reminded me of all the wonderful feelings of working with these amazing artists like Zoya, for a month and then putting on all these performances. And I just want all of those singers out there to know that my heart is with you during these very, very difficult times. Bill DeYoung. Oh, great to see that you're watching, Bill. Sohoko Timpone, you're watching. So happy you're watching. Wow. Okay, lots of great people watching. Oh, here's a question. Is it based on a true story? Yes. The plot comes from a short story by the American author John Luther Long. And Long had heard the tale of a Japanese geisha wed to a U.S. naval officer and then forsaken by him for a bride from his own country. Long's version, in turn, was based on a semi-autobiographical French novel, Madame Chrysanthème, from the 1880s. So the story is actually semi-biographical. It's somewhat based on a true story. Hi, Sohoko. Thanks for saying hi. So I'm sending big hugs. I wish you were all here with me now. Wow. Really enjoyed watching Act 1 tonight and looking forward to seeing Acts 2 and 3. So a fun fact about Puccini's Madama Butterfly. Puccini studied Japanese culture. Puccini really got into putting his operas in settings that were sort of different for the time. Like Turandot was set in ancient China, Butterfly was set in Nagasaki, Japan, Golden Girl of the West was set in the American West. So he was really interested in setting his operas in these places where he could often draw upon some of the native music, some of the original music. But he learned about Japanese scales and melodies and songs. He learned some of these from the Japanese ambassador's wife, but he learned quite a bit about a Japanese music. Now I see I'm getting another question here. I'm actually getting this question on my cell phone. This question is, did I hear the Star-Spangled Banner tonight? Yes, you did hear the Star-Spangled Banner tonight. In addition to the Japanese folk songs that Puccini relied upon, he did quote the Star-Spangled Banner a number of times, little short snippets. And oh, that light's really washing things out there. Let's turn that off. It's harsh. That was harsh. But you did hear this melody. It introduces Pinkerton's first aria, Dovunque al Mondo. And the harmonization very similar to what we know. Very similar, and he uses that tune a number of times. Pinkerton's first aria, I want to say something briefly about that. Puccini was so clever with his melodies, and his melodies often just move by these very easy singable scale steps. But in Dovunque al Mondo, when Pinkerton's singing about everywhere the Yankee traveler sails into port and wants to cast out his anchor, he uses these big upward intervals, these upward large intervals, and it really gives you a sense of the character being a little bit pompous and arrogant underneath all the charm and the handsome looks. We get that because of these large upward intervals. Dovunque al mondo, lo Yankee vagabondo, si gode traffica, sprezzando rischi. These big upward intervals, I think it does give us a sense about his character even right from the beginning. So yes, to answer that question, you did hear some Star-Spangled Banner. Let's see, I'm getting another. Hello, Spotlight Artist Management. So glad you're watching. So glad you're tuning in. Here's another question. How was Madama Butterfly received on its premiere? Well, as some of these great classics often are, very poorly received on its opening night in 1904. February 17th, I think it was, in 1904. Booed by the audiences in Milan. But I'm glad you asked that question because Puccini actually revised the opera 4 times. So he wrote 5 versions, and he finished the 5th version in 1908, and that is known as the standard version. That's the version that we, really listen to and know and love today. But originally, when it first premiered, it only had 2 acts. And there were some major differences. Imagine revising something 4 times. So obviously there's going to be some differences. I want to give a big shout out to Carl Hesser, the stage director for the production. Carl has stage directed many of our productions at St. Petersburg Opera. Hello, Carl. I hope you're watching. And just a moment of show and tell here, a few other little items to share that might be of interest. This is our Madama Butterfly. This is my signed, I treasure this because this has been signed by all the artists. This is my signed copy of the Madama Butterfly show poster, and that graphic was designed by Roman Black, who does all of our graphic designs at St. Petersburg Opera. Song Young Bak, I just saw his name pop up. Thanks for watching. You should know that next week we're going to do Swore Angelica and Johnny Skiki. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's my Madam Butterfly signed poster with our beautiful graphic. Also wanted to give a shout out to pianist Doug Hahn, who was our principal rehearsal pianist. People, I don't want to say underestimate, but people might not understand how important the principal rehearsal pianist is. The orchestra really just comes in us like 1 week before opening night. So the 2.5 weeks prior to that, we are rehearsing with the principal rehearsal pianist and sometimes some additional pianists, because sometimes we have more than one thing going on in one room at the same time. So that was Doug Hahn, our principal rehearsal pianist. I want to draw your eyes up here. This is an interesting piece. This is a picture portrait of Madama Butterfly, and that actually was our Madama Butterfly in 2011. That is Laura Tillotson, and she was our Madama Butterfly in 2011. So I just love that piece, and it's not what's usually hanging right here, but I was trying to set the stage. I'm trying to up the what's the word? Up the performance values of these Facebook lives or something each time, because we are fighting for our art. We are fighting to keep our arts companies and organizations alive. And along that lines, if you enjoyed the Butterfly tonight, if you're enjoying this show, please log on to stpetopera.org and make a donation. Any size gift is greatly appreciated. We need your support, and I am fighting to stay alive so that we can keep presenting these operas in the future when it is safe to do so again. So tomorrow night's show, I can't believe how quick the time goes by. Tomorrow night's show in the live, I am going to explore a little further the differences between the first version and the fifth version. I will tell you about some of the substantial differences between the first and the fifth version that we know today. And I'm also going to get into a little bit of the Japanese folk songs. Like, for example, one of them is called Miya-san. It goes like this. And that folk song is used a lot throughout the opera. It's used a lot in association with the character of Yamadori, and I will tell you more about the significance of that tomorrow night. So we are wrapping up here, and it's been a pleasure to connect with you live, and keeping our artists, singers, our instrumentalists in the hearts. Thank you for watching tonight. All my love to you. Good night.